Morgan's canon. Origins and misconstrual. In the field of early comparative psychology, few were more influential than Conwy Lloyd Morgan. Starting off in the Royal School of Mines, Morgan was set to become a mining engineer. He learned the value of the practical, but he was determined to advance knowledge for its own sake. After no small inspiration from his stint of studying with T.H. Huxley, Morgan was dedicated to investigating comparative methods. Combining this with his fascination with mental evolution, his place in comparative psychology was fixed. While teaching at the University College of Bristol, he wrote several books, including the landmark textbook of 1894, An Introduction to Comparative Psychology. Within this book's first edition was his canon, which would resonate in the background of psychology for ages after. It read, "In no case may we interpret an action as the outcome of the exercise of a higher mental faculty if it can be interpreted as the exercise of one which stands lower in the psychological scale." Essentially, the canon was a form of Occam's razor, promoting a cautious application of human descriptors to animal behavior. Occam's razor is a common epistemological reference which states that, if multiple explanations are available, the least complicated one is the most likely to be the truth. Unlike Darwin and Romanes, Morgan was not a proponent of the continuity view of mental evolution, which holds the assumption that mental abilities between species differ in degree but not quality. A continuous view of mental evolution would imply that the same general processes are applicable to humans and all other animals. Morgan did not agree with this. "We must obtain a key to the solution of one of the most difficult problems in evolution by continuous process, that of the transition from animal behavior to human conduct." He'd later refer to his rubric of emergent evolution, where behavior develops through qualitative leaps and stages. Straying from the path of continuous mental evolution was important in the development of the canon. Unfortunately, the canon was, and still is, misunderstood in some ways. Morgan discovered that his canon was being used as a tool to advocate over-reductionism, rather than serve as a general caution. In his textbook's second edition, he said, "To this, however, it should be added, lest the range of the principle be misunderstood, that the canon by no means excludes the interpretation of a particular activity in terms of the higher processes, if we already have independent evidence of these higher processes in the animal under observation." Morgan was a scientist, not a crusader for reductionism. His words did well to quell the rampant overuse of anthropomorphization, such as in Romanes and his contemporaries, but he was not opposed to the existence of animal thinking, should the evidence be presented. However, even Skinner, 40 years later, would use the canon to promote anti-mentalism by claiming such things as, "The canon dispensed with the need to refer to mental abilities in animals." The misconstrual of C.L. Morgan's intentions provides comparative psychology with a little-known tragic tale.